Good morning. Happy Monday. Good morning, everybody. How's it going today? Hope y'all had a great weekend. Good morning, John. Namin. Good morning. I like that. Tony, Max, Will, David. Good morning, everybody. So this week on Wednesday, we have the Fed funds rates, the rate decision. So we'll see how that plays into today and tomorrow. That means on Wednesday, I will not be trading. I won't be streaming live because I do not trade the day of the Fed funds rate. Good morning, Enrico, Benton, Kid Poker. How's it going? Don't forget, I will be doing 5 Apex giveaways today towards the end of the stream here. Apex evals, and you can still get, for some reason, my little image at the top above these little flyers. I don't know why I couldn't get that. It just disappeared. I don't understand why, but whatever. I need to redo it anyways. So all that is said there is that this stream is not financial advice. It is educational purposes only. And make sure if you do purchase Apex accounts, use code WIN, W-I-N. That is only if you use Apex. All right, so let's hop into here. We have a brand new week. So brand new week means a brand new range that I mark up here for the week. And that is last week's high and low. And I also mark the midpoint because I want to see what is basically equilibrium of that range. So we have last week's high here, last week's low here. We are still in the wick of it right there. It's kind of all I really do. I just kind of look for the levels of the weekly range. Obviously we're pushing up, so we'll see if we do have a Santa rally. We are in the second week of December and, getting close, 2 weeks away from Christmas. So let's go to the daily chart. As you can see, we did last week hit the target that we were aiming for the entire week, which was that daily swing level right up here. So we hit that. Now I believe we're going to go up into this fair value gap, this daily fair value gap up here that I have marked with this quadrant. So I'll be watching for that. So let's zoom in here a little bit on the daily chart. And as always, I marked out my daily range, my previous day range, which is Friday, high and low. We're in the wick here. And if we do end up closing up, so we did take that daily swing level up here. We did not, here's that fair value gap here. We did not get up there yet. We're in the wick. Now, I do want to take note. If we do close up today, we'll have a volume imbalance right here for tomorrow or the next couple days, so that would be something to keep an eye on. Typically on the daily chart, if we create a volume imbalance like this, usually within a couple days or even the next day, we come down into it. So I will be watching that. And then one other thing for this wick here, I was watching. If I mark this wick into quadrants as a premium wick here, check it out. We hit that upper quadrant now. Just about. And we're staying below the midpoint. So I'll just kind of have that in the back of my head in case if we can't go up. I'm actually looking. We have some sell side liquidity. I'm looking at us taking because obviously if the overall direction is bullish, we should see some manipulation to the downside first and then a continuation. Typically overall. Now, whether that happens during your trading session, that's to be determined. So let's go to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart. Basically, if you're new here, we're getting a lot of new subscribers. So if you're new, I typically like to go through a top-down analysis before I start trading. So we have this 4-hour fair value gap right here. So I have that in mind. And this volume imbalance, or it's a volume imbalance, but it's a new week opening gap. So we have that there as well. Okay. So do we come all the way down there? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. There's not much on the 1 hour, kind of similar situation. I have a couple fair value gaps I marked there. to see if we're going to, go through them or not. And then the 15-minute, I have the London range marked out here. Okay, here's the London high, London low. There's the midpoint. I have this 15-minute fair value gap right in the middle. So I was going to say, here, let me see what's going on here. Yeah, so basically what I'm looking at here is we have this, I'm looking at as a sell side liquidity here. And then I have this imbalance right in the middle. So that might be all that it needs to do is go into there before it comes up. But with this sell side liquidity, I'm not going to be too bullish with that. It's not an extreme sell side liquidity where I'm like, price really needs to get to it. But you see how I had a minor sell side liquidity marked here? Yeah, that's what I was looking at. So this shot down, came down, and then right at the open just like ran away with it. So it might not come down any lower is what I'm looking at. And where I got that minor sell side is right here on the 5-minute. Right here on the 5-minute, we have some relative equal lows right here. So I had this as a minor sell side. We dipped down into that, this 15-minute fair value gap, and we're taking off to the long side. So we'll see if we keep going up or if we want to keep going down, because obviously the first few minutes and even the first 30 minutes could be a lot of manipulation. So we'll see where we kind of settle in. 5-minute, and then I know we have a big opening range gap. So I want to mark that here on the 1-minute. And we have some opening range gaps from, to the short side and long side that we never filled that are still there. So now we have our opening here. Have our close there. So we have a nice opening range gap right there of about, this is about 791, 733. So it's not huge. It's not huge. So there's a very good chance we do come down and close that. So we'll see. We will see. So right now I'm going to be patient too, because like I say, we have the Fed funds rate on Wednesday. We're getting closer to those holiday days. Let me see. There was no news today as far as like planned news, but tomorrow we have the JOLTS job openings, and that's going to be a big one. Because right now at the state of the economy, jobs and interest rates are like two big indicators on how on the underlying economy of how it's actually doing. So two big news news tomorrow, that's a big one, and then Fed funds rate on Wednesday. So we'll see what today does. Today we might get an initial move and then a lot of ugliness. So just got to kind of be careful. All right, so that's pretty much my analysis, what I'm looking at. I want to see, so I'm going to be a little patient, extra patient today, because I don't want to get, I try to be patient every day, right? But when we have this fair value gap right here, so I think this might be a pretty good fair value gap to keep an eye on to see if we can't invert this and see if price continues to work. I think it'll work its way around in there, but then we might look for a long out of it up into that, because overall I'm still bullish. So I want to see. My only question today was, all we want to do is take this minor sell side down here into this 15-minute fair value gap, or are we going to actually try to take that sell side I have even lower? So we'll see. And now we're pulling back into this fair value gap. So like I said, I'm not going to be too eager to do anything too fast, but this, I think, for me right now, this morning, this fair value gap in this area is going to be a crucial area for me to watch. Good morning, Andrew. I think I'm saying that. I hope I'm saying Andrew. Andrew. Max, one trader's ugliness is another trader's beauty. Hey, man, it could be. So, like, when I was doing those scalps with the Apex Sniper system, we look at a tick chart, and we're scalping 9 ticks at a time. There was times where it looked great to me, and other people were like, man, this is ugly, nasty choppiness. So, it all depends. Yep. All depends. So let's see how we work price in this area. And basically, if I do go long out of this area, I'm going to need another fair value gap up out of it, because it can definitely pull down. It could pull down more than what, you know, than what a potential trade for me can handle in regards to you know, the stop loss. So watch this imbalance right here. This would be interesting to see if we can close underneath it or not. You see how we're wicking through. Wicks do the damage, right? And see, here's another thing on the 15-minute. Look at the long wick that it put out. So I would have liked to see an open and then it run down first and continue up. But maybe not. Maybe I mean, we'll see. This wick right here is kind of like, could be a stop run, you know, first and then continue up, which happens often. Let's go to let me look at something real quick on the weekly chart. Yeah, so it's Monday. So we're going to have an open low and then a high throughout the week and a close, right? If it's going to be bullish. And so far we do have an open and we do have a wick down. So we could see it just expand for the rest, you know, the rest of the day into Thursday, Friday. So that's definitely a possibility. Does it need to go down? Okay, we closed underneath this. But I'm always looking for reasons like, does it really need to go past or lower than a certain area? Sometimes there's something very obvious there where I'm like, yeah, it needs to go down there and take that. And sometimes, like today, it really doesn't. Like, it doesn't. I mean, this sell side liquidity down here, I mean, I can see it going there, but does it need to go down there? I don't think it's one of those levels or areas where I'm like, yeah, it needs to go take that first. So we'll see. Anybody able to get more funded accounts on this $6 sell yet? I know there's some other sales going on as well, but, you know, other places. It's getting pretty competitive out there. See, and this is what I mean. You got to be careful, too. Like, I don't think we're there yet, but we got to be careful today with the news events for tomorrow and Wednesday, that we don't get to a point where price decides to just get ugly in anticipation for the next 2 days. So, but like I said, I don't think we're there yet. Like, once we start getting to that, which I won't, obviously, you know, I don't stream that long, but once you start getting close to that 11 o'clock hour, you can kind of get some ideas of what the rest of the day might look like because of those news events. Tomorrow I think we'll be fine, especially because the news comes out at 10 a.m. So we're going to have plenty of volatility tomorrow. It's just Wednesday. I don't trade in the afternoon. That's why I don't trade that day at all. So Wednesday I wouldn't trade until after that Fed funds rate release. So, but it also depends on you know, Jay Powell. Sometimes he'll talk all the way up until almost the close, and it's like, yeah, you don't want to trade while he's, you know, doing his Q&A, because that's when you can get definitely crushed, for sure. So a lot of y'all saw I put out that 15-second confirmation video finally last night. I wanted to go into more examples, and I even said it in the video, like, I'm going to show some more examples here later. And then I realized the video was like 35 minutes long already, and I was like, oh, crap. Here we go. This video is like 35 minutes long, and so I figured that was kind of a way to segue that into well, join me live, and I go into more details when I'm live. So kind of left it at that. So it's not that I forgot to show more details or more examples. It's that I realized the video was about getting close to 40 minutes long, and I found that as an opportunity to just say, hey, join me live. I know, Will. In my head, I was like, you know what? I can make that a 10-minute video. Like, let's just show the meat and potatoes of this. But then I was like, well, because so many things for me, I don't know, maybe it's just my personality. I feel like when you have the whys, like why do things work? Why do things not work? Why do you even do it? I feel like that in a lot of cases is almost more important to the hows of things. Obviously, you got to have both, but I guess that's why like I end up spending a lot of time on the whys, because if I could show the value of something or like really expose the value of something, then to me it's just like, okay, that makes sense. Like let's do this. Regardless of what it is, like anything. So just kind of, I don't know. Maybe that's my personality. I know not everybody needs the whys of things, like why do things happen, but they just want to show me how, which that's fine, but watching trade while driving. Just be careful there. Hope you have it propped up nice to where you can, only listen and only look at a red light. How about that? All right, so we are making our way down. We did get an inversion here. So, yeah, I think we will come down to that sell side liquidity that I mentioned. And I do feel better I would feel better. Now, obviously, we know, right, price can just keep going down. But I'm bullish overall still. So I would prefer it to come down to the sell side liquidity and then head up. But we also have this new week opening gap down here at 750. And we've also went through this 1 hour fair value gap multiple times. So I'm not expecting it to hold. I just marked it to see. Same thing with this 1 hour fair value gap. And we also have Asia low down here. We also have that opening range gap, like I mentioned. So there are reasons price could come down here. I would say maybe even as low as the 733 area. Okay. Could. Now we're testing this inversion. So we'll see what we do in this inversion. Are we going to hold as an inversion? Right. And continue to push down to maybe 733? Or are we going to go up and reclaim it? So that's why this is still a key area for me. Because if we hold as an inversion and we keep making our way down, then I think we're going to go to 733. If we come back up above it and close above it and reclaim it, then I think we're just going to head up to 880. So we'll see. Crucial area. And this is why, like, having this in mind allows you to be patient with it and just kind of let it play out and see what it does, and knowing what you'll do next depending on what the price does here in certain areas. And that's also why I switched to trading this strategy a couple years ago, because I know the whys, why things happen. If this happens, then this should happen. Like, to me, it just gives me that being comfortable with it. And when I have that, it helps me be disciplined. It all comes down and back to being disciplined, in my opinion. A strategy is great, but if you can't be disciplined with it, then it might not be a great strategy for you. All right, so we're still holding. Now, you got to watch here. See, this is where you can get a little confusing if you're not careful. We have a fair value gap here, right? We just created a little BISI right here. This is not something I'd be looking too long, because we're still in the lower half of this inversion. Let me go ahead and change the color of this inversion So don't get it confused. My inversions, if you don't know, are usually going to be this like yellow color, and my, regular fair value gaps are this blue color. We know there's a 15-minute fair value gap right here, so I'm going to go ahead and delete it so we can see better. Okay. This area did hold up down here for the moment, but now here's another thing. If this one becomes an inversion, then, hey, we're going to probably just keep going down. So we'll see. But also that's why I'm not looking at this one as a long. I would only be looking at a long, like I said, if we can come back above this one that created inversion. So if we come back, if this, it'll be a good sign if this continues to hold up here, but then I'd be needing it to come back out of it, reclaim this, and leave a fair value gap somewhere, and that's how I'd be looking for a long. Basically, the only way I'd be looking for a long. However, if we create an inversion out of this little bissy and a fair value gap lower, a short, a SIBI, then I'd be looking for it to come down to potentially 733. Now, you got to expect some what I call turbulence, because it might not go straight down there, because we have, like I said, we still have this 1 hour fair value gap. Even though I think if we do come down to it, it can go through it because it's already been traded through multiple times. It may not just go straight through it. So still crucial area. And we still don't have any fair value gap on the 5-minute or the 15-minute. Now, usually, so like, even if we don't have one by this time on the 15-minute, you can tell if it looks like it might try to create one within the 10 o'clock hour, but it's not even trying right now. It doesn't look like it. So it's a good indicator that, it's kind of sit still for the moment until this area shows us what it wants to do. All right, so and we may not get I might not get an opportunity to even get in anything here. So you could have traded the inversion and dropped down to the 15-second chart, look for confirmation, all that good stuff. I still personally typically don't trade inversions, especially this one today, because, like I said, I could see it really going either way. But now we're coming out of it and we're just shooting straight down there. So basically, I'm not going to be able to take a trade down to it where I thought it was going to go. So now here we are, the 733. And let's see what happens. We do have reason to keep going down, but because I'm more bullish overall, I want to see. I don't want to see, like, I don't want to try to keep shorting it, because I think now that we took all that, the rest of that sell side liquidity, we took this Asia low, we closed that opening range gap, we hit the midpoint of the previous day's range, which was Friday, went through the new week opening gap, all that area that I just called out. We went through it all. Now we could keep going up if price wants to remain bullish. So we have this fair value gap here, and I want to see if this becomes an inversion right here. I'd be looking for this to become an inversion, And if so, we have a little one there, but if so, then I think we're just going to keep going up. So we'll see what we do here. Because I really don't have a big reason for it to keep coming down. Like, it could, because like I said, old opening range gap. I mean, there's some reasons, but because price is overall looking bullish, I don't, like, it's one of those things where I'm, like I was saying, I don't see that it has to go down there. So let me get rid of some of this here. And really, this, I have to include this volume imbalance right there. You see how we traded all the way straight up through this fair value gap. We haven't inverted it. It could still hold, and we could still keep going down. I'm just not convinced it's going to go short. So I would need it. Basically, for me to go short, I would pretty much skip an entry from this fair value gap, and I'd wait for it to show me that it's kind of heavy in there and give me more displacement down, and I'd look to take that one. And then I'd probably aim lower to like this 680 or something. Let's see. Yeah, actually, because we have a little bit of sell side liquidity right here at this swing low, 700. And then down into, yeah, I'm not sure that we get there, though. So we'll see. This was an order block that we reached into here. Yeah, it's got to really prove it to me that it wants to come down. My volume is low. Let's see if I could turn this up a little bit. Yeah, I have a little mixer thing here, and I'm careful to turn the dial up too much because I don't want the pitch to crack or anything if it's too loud. So this is going to be a key for me right in this area, right here. If we invert this one, then I'll be probably looking long. And that's why I say I'm really looking for it to prove to me that it wants to come down. I don't want to use this one yet, this area. If it wants to prove to me that it's going to maybe, work its way a little bit here, but then continue down with some more displacement, that's where I'd look to go short. It's got to prove it to me right now. And this is where, having a higher time frame bias really can help you play into, what you're looking at. So my bias, like I said, is more bullish on the higher time frame, right? So with that, when I look at the lower, like the 15-minute chart, if there's nothing else obvious to the short side, then any potential short like this, after it's taken any area that I can kind of see it going to, then for me, there's no reason to force a short unless it does, really proves it to me. Even if it gives me what looks like usually a good setup. I'd rather skip that one and let it show me that's going to keep going, and then I'll get in another one as long as I still have kind of a target below. Otherwise, I'm going to wait. I'm going to let it do all this nastiness and see which way it goes from there. Because, you know, if I would have shorted in here, because I think there probably was, let's see. Let's look at the 15-second real quick. I think there was probably an entry. So it came back up in here. Well, it depends what you want to look at. If you want to look at this. Oops. Don't know why that happened. Oh, I hit the wrong button. If you want to look at this, I probably wouldn't have used this, though, because we only had this one little down candle. There hasn't been a higher high, so yeah, I probably wouldn't have. Even if I wanted to short this right here and looking at the 15-second confirmation, I probably wouldn't have even shorted that. And now we made our way back up into the fair value gap again. So, yeah, I would need it to do, you know, like I was saying earlier. And now look at the 5-minute chart. This is, and the 15-minute is kind of shaping out to look the same, but look at the 5-minute chart. Look at this wick up, right? And then look at this wick down. I don't like it. Not yet. And the 15-minute is trying to kind of do something similar. Like I say, you got to be careful today. Doesn't mean I'm not going to take a trade. I'm still going to look for what I normally do. But you got to be careful. I'm curious, how many people use ICT concepts to trade? How many people have, like, kind of used some of it? 'Cause, you know, I use ICT concepts, so I always wonder, because, you know, obviously when I'm talking about the market, it's a lot of that, but definitely curious. All right, so see how it's showing me that it wants to continue down and it wants to, I mean, it is for the moment. We'll see if it does. But what I'd be watching too, we have this swing down here now, right? So we have this swing. Do we displace down lower, or do we end up getting a failure swing and turn around? Because really, if we do come down, I want to see, like I said, I want to see displacement down. Fair value gap. Pull up into. But if it just comes down into this right here, no displacement, it gives a failure swing, we could be looking at it going up from there. So I'd be looking at this as a potential rejection block. So I'd be watching the midpoint of this wick right here. Let's go ahead and throw this on there. Nice, John. You took the inversion at 947. Sweet. Yeah, I mean, that was good. We came out of it. We pulled up into it here. Yeah, there was opportunity to short out of it. It's a nice inversion. It's a nice trade. Oops. Hate when I accidentally grab a line and move it. It's 10:01 now, so let's see if we get any movement out of this 10 o'clock hour. And see now, also, we're looking, so you can see the 15-minute chart here. You see how we have a potential fair value gap? Now it's kind of trying to show its hand here. Doesn't mean we're going to get it, but you can wait. Like if we start displacing down on the 1 minute and heading lower, then hey, we may be creating this 15-minute fair value gap to continue pushing lower. And then of course, like I've always mentioned that once we get a 15-minute fair value gap on the on here on the 15-minute chart, then I see what happens inside that 15-minute fair value gap, because we're typically going to pull back to it at some point. But for now, like I said, it doesn't mean we're going to get it, because we still have 13 minutes until it forms. So this is going to be crucial. Do we get a failure swing here? Do we come back up, invert this? If we invert this fair value gap or even pull right back up to this high, then that's going to be an immediate rebalance of that 15-minute fair value gap. And I'd prefer that because, like I said, overall, I'm still bullish. So we got a failure swing here. And now we'll see if we can trade up through this 1 minute fair value gap, leaving a new one here, a BISI. And then I'd be looking to potentially head up. So we got an immediate rebalance on that 15-minute fair value gap, you see? There's no potential fair value gap now. So we got an immediate rebalance. So we'll see. Got to keep watching. Here, now I'm going to, since we keep trading through these 1 hour fair value gaps, I'm going to remove them on my chart so it clears it up a little bit. Close that opening range gap. Let me get rid of this too, because I hate so many lines on my charts. All right, let's see. I'm going to pre-mark this one just in case. We got a little potential volume bounce right here as well if we close up. So we'll see if we get a fair value gap in here or not. We may or may not. Back up into this one. But this is still not a longing opportunity for me yet, because we still have this guy right here. So we got that fair value gap. Now we have opposing fair value gaps, right? We have a SIBI on this one and a BISI on this one. So which one will prevail? Still a crucial area for me right now. It's not really interested yet. I bet you 1020, 1021 is when it's going to go. We have this one. I accidentally right-clicked. Get rid of this minor sell side liquidity level since we've already cleared that. We are making our way back up into that range where the sell side, my original sell side was. And the reason why I have to include, so the fair value gap, you could say, is down here, but I have to include the volume imbalance. Now, here's another thing. If we do come down and invert this one right here, after reaching, seeing, we've always stayed in the lower half of this fair value gap. We've never, like right here, yeah, we wicked above, but we've stayed in the lower half. Now we're trading straight through this area. We may create an inversion here, and if we get displacement down, that might be what it needs to continue down. Maybe. Or it might just keep doing this the entire morning and nothing happens. All right, let's see. We got the inversion. Let's see what we do here. Inversion. Let's see if we continue down. Let's see if we create a new fair value gap. A SIBI here, and if we can keep coming down or not. Or if we're just going to keep doing this over and over and over, then I am going to stay out. And I'm not looking to use this as a short, this inversion, because I'm not convinced yet. I mean, we are looking a little heavier than anything, but yeah, I'm not convinced yet. Yeah, to sell opportunity on gold. Dang. That's all right. Next trade, next trade. Next trade, next opportunity. There will be more. If it's not today, wait for it tomorrow. All right, we're slowly making our way back up here. You see how it had this BISI, inverted it. Now it coming back up, might reclaim it. Like, this is price action I don't like. I don't love it. That's why I haven't taken anything. I gave you my parameters of what I'm looking for me to take a trade. And that's where you just have to have the discipline to wait for it. And then at that point, if you do get something, whatever happens, happens. If you lose, okay, whatever, it's cool. But you have to have the discipline to wait. And times like this is where, you can get impatient, start, clicking buttons and make mistakes. So just, okay, here we go. We're coming back up to the midpoint again. Let's see what happens. Perfect hit right there. And see, the closer we get to Christmas too. So, well, like I said, though, for today, it's mainly anticipation for tomorrow and Wednesday. But hey, then after this week, we have 2 weeks left. Well, right now we have 2 weeks until Christmas week, but next week, and the last couple weeks, I'm still on the fence if I'm going to trade or not. Because I told myself last year I would not trade the last 2 weeks this year. But, I've become a much better trader since then as well. So that's part of me. That's why part of me is like, I kind of know when to trade and when not to trade now. And I pretty much have the discipline to follow that for the most part. But then part of me is like, I don't want it to be then when I break my discipline. I mean, it shouldn't, but we'll see. We'll see. So look at that. This fair value gap is like chopped liver. Inverting it. Reclaiming it. Inverting it. This one is the bad boy right there. That one telling us everything we need to know. But yeah, if we can get down here with some displacement and fair value gap, I would think we're going to go right down to this. Well, first 700 because we have that sell side liquidity there, and then this 680. Yeah, I agree, Max. It's not the way I like to trade. It's not what I like to look for. Now we got this fair value gap here, but again, I don't trust it. I don't trust it because how many times this last one did we reclaim it and invert it? Like over and over and over. Like I need some displacement at this point. That's what I need is some displacement. All right, we might get a suspension block here. Volume imbalance right there. If this closes down, then that might be interesting. If you don't know, a suspension block is when you have a bar that has a volume balance on the top and a volume balance on the bottom of it. So then you'd mark the entire thing like this. So we got that suspension block. Still not very convinced of it going lower, though. I would like to see it to, you know, kind of do this first and then pull back and go. Let's see. I'm going to keep my eye on this right here. We're in this fair value gap. It's a suspension block, so it is stronger than any fair value gap. $740. It's a relatively small stop if I do short this, so I might take a shot at it and go down to 700. So at this point, I still don't love it, but I like. This might be the time that we do go. I'd only have about a 14-point stop on this. Because we are pretty heavy, so we may be trying to come down lower. Yeah, look at that. Did not get a confirmation on that. I need it to close below this line. There we go. Now I'm in this. Put my stop right at this swing high at about 754. My target, where's my target? I'm going to go for that 700. Put it right at about a little over 700. In case. So we'll see if this plays out here. Or if it's going to continue to hesitate and not go. Which is highly possible. But like I said, I only have about a 14-point stop, so that'll be my risk for the day. If this doesn't work out, then I probably won't get anything, but we'll see. We'll see. Not loving price action today, so it's not a bad thing to just stay out. And probably as it gets past this midday, previous mid right here, if it does, around that 724, this low here, 721, I'll probably go to break even just because I do not love the price action today. Just to cover, and like I said on my video, my 15-second entry confirmation video last night, I'm learning to love break evens. All right, I'm moving to break even. This is exactly why I'm moving to break even. We shot down. We could see it pull back up. I don't care. Whatever happens at this point, it's fine by me if I get knocked out. And I might, because it might not want to go any further. And I'm perfectly okay with that. Like, trust me, I am okay with that. I'm giving myself the opportunity, and it knocked me out. Oh, crap. I don't know why it's doing this to my... Does this to one account every time. So you ask, like, yeah, I could have put my target here at this low, and I was at 739, so it would have been about 18 points, and I was risking 14. That's not bad, but that's not what I'm aiming for. I'm not aiming for just 18 points. I need 35 plus. Otherwise, I'm okay with a break even. Now, commissions got me a little bit because of, how it just popped up. I didn't get perfect fills, but I'm okay with that. I'm like down $3 per account. I gave myself the opportunity. Price action's not great, right? So it's like, that's all I can ask for. That's all I can ask for. Now, I gave myself a shot. It popped down here. I can wait and see what happens from here. More than likely, nothing. We'll see. And if these become inversions, and then we might decide to make our way up. And that's exactly why I wanted to move to break even. After we come back down previous day mid and this low, because it very well could just be a sweep. One more sweep underneath that and then come back up. This is exactly what happened, and that's exactly why I went to break even. But I don't like to just take a target there because I still want to give it to the opportunity to where I think it could go. And that's why I'm saying I'm falling in love with break-even trades. Because even though, I'm down a couple dollars, that's still, to me, that's a break-even. It's break-even. My trade itself was break-even. You can see I entered short 739, got out at 737. So I actually made almost 2 points. So I needed another pullback before. What I say is probably going to go like at 1020. See, when it's failing to displace, that's when, I really don't like to be in trades. So here it went into that suspension block, right? And it came down. Like, yeah, it came down, but it really shouldn't need to do this pullback right here. Like, it should just keep going down and displacing lower, but it failed. So I really don't care to be a part of that, to be honest. Like, I want to be in it when it displaces and it's ready to go. Now, what could be happening is we're looking like we may, unless we displace here, if we don't take this swing low, we could be creating a market structure to reverse and go up. So basically, we're at another crucial point where we need to see displacement here, like right here, through this low. Right now, through this low. Because if not, then what we're doing is creating a market structure to shift to the long side if we leave this in place right here. So we really need displacement here to go short. If it's going to go short, if it rejects here and does not displace, I don't think we're going to go. Like, even if it slowly creeps down, like, we need displacement lower. Like that. Potentially. It could still be. There we go. Oh, look at that. It's failing. It's failing. Nah. 1021. 1020. The 1020 candle. Got a little pop. 1021. See what happens. Dang, John. Just seen an accident live. All right, y'all, let me go ahead and start the Nightbot. For those of you that don't know what or who the Nightbot is, that's our good old friendly drawing giveaway bot and Will's best friend. While we're sitting here, because last time I didn't get it going until kind of late. Unique winners. We're going to do 5 today, okay? So we're going to do 5. And go ahead and comment !beast just like that to be entered into the drawing for 5 Apex evaluations of any size to your choosing, to your liking. And we'll let it run here for a little while we're still watching the charts a little bit. Yeah, you see how it's still just like slowly coming down? I don't like that. I don't like it. Chances are, odds are, I'm not going to get another trade. We'll see. But it's not looking like I want anything. Like here. Like, yeah, I could have stayed in this, right? Like, I don't even know if it would have ever hit my stop. So I got in here. No, it would have never hit my stop, but, you know, could have just left it on a 14-point risk. But, like I said, I'm learning to love these break-evens. Yep, keep them going. We got everybody that is commenting. I do see you all getting entered here into the drawing. Keep on keeping on. Keep on entering. All right, now we are coming down. We are taking that 700. We took that 700. Hey, and this happens some. Okay, so here, let me mention this. This happens sometimes where like you can see and you can call levels and you can get the market right and it's going there, but you didn't make money or you broke even or maybe even took a loss. That's okay. The reason why is because this is the most important thing, is figuring out where the market is likely to go, where it could be going. If you can get that right, the rest of it is just small. The rest of it you can tweak, get the fine tuning, and you can get that down. You know, the main thing is knowing where the market should go, when, and why. So, like today, I might not get a winning trade. I'm not losing. I took a break even. That's okay. Even if I would have taken a loss, that's okay, because y'all see, like, I've gotten these levels and these areas correct in where I'm thinking and why the market should go to these places, right? So, like, that's more important, because if you can get that right, that's repeatable. You can repeat that every day. If you just get a lucky trade, that's not repeatable. If you don't know why things happen, you just took a random entry because you saw something, that's not repeatable. What you want is something that you can repeat day in and day out. And that's when you have a money printer. Nothing's guaranteed, right? But that's when you can be confident and know, today wasn't my day, but I got the direction. I got, what the market was doing correct, right? So like, look, here we go. Now we're just going down, 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 hitting that opening range gap. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know that I'm going to take a trade. And that's fine. That's fine. So that's the main thing. Just remember that. That's the main thing. Because you'll see so many people, and I've watched a lot of people trading live. You'll see so many that they're just clueless as to what's going on in the market. Like, oh, I'm going to log. And then all of a sudden you see it drop down and they're like, whoa, what happened? Why did that happen? And it's like everything catches them off guard. And to me, you can't, like, I mean, I get it. Like, I mean, I don't know. Everybody has a different way, right? But to me, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable trading that way, basically. And that goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, I like to know the whys of things. Why do things, should things happen? Keep hitting that, putting in that exclamation mark beast. We'll do the drawing here at, let's go to 10:30. We'll give it 3 more minutes to enter in. See, now we're finally coming down. And if we get this, or not if, we got this fair value gap, now we could come down to this low. The opening range gap low. We could just be coming down to finish closing that up. Very possible. But at the same time, we could do a pullback. So what do? If you really want to take a trade, you go down the 15-second confirmation chart and you see if there's a confirmation. No confirmation, no trade. That's simple, really. If you really want to take a shot at going lower, like closing this opening range gap, hitting these new day opening gaps, hitting even previous day low, whatever you're thinking. See, and this would be almost a 40-point stop for me. So I would have to, unless I get a new entry, but I would have to wait for that. Stop would be up here. Oh, now it's going higher, right? And then I'd have to look to see where it could go. But look, no trade, no confirmation. And now look what we've done. We've traded above that 1 minute fair value gap. So that's why I love this confirmation, because like, let's say I was really confident, like, oh, we're going to come down and close this fair value gap, or we're going to go down, keep going down. That's fine. But do you short this? Because now you can have a bigger pullback, right? You can have a mitigation up here. You could pull back to a mitigation area. It could, do whatever. We've seen price action hasn't been the best today. So it could wait until it creates a fair value gap right here on the 15-minute, pull back into it, then keep going. Like, there's many things that it could do. So that's why I love, like, okay, we're in this fair value gap. If I really wanted to go short, I can wait for a 15-second confirmation. Like I just said, on this pullback, no confirmation, no trade. Now we made a higher high here. You could look at maybe this one, but I wouldn't. Not yet. All right. So, because I don't love the price action today. Anyways. All right. So let's go ahead and get to some drawings going. I'm not going to take another trade. I'm not liking anything. I'll just skip it. I'll wait for tomorrow. And then, like I said, I won't be trading Wednesday. So when I'm not trading, I'm not live, and I'll be back Thursday. So let's do this. Let's get our winners here. Let's get the Nightbot to make its selections. And we're going to go with winner number 1 is Man versus Oven. Congratulations. You are a winner. Winner number 2 is Max. Max. Congratulations, Max. You are a winner. Winner number 3 is going to be Benton. Benton. Congratulations, Benton. You are a winner. Congrats, congrats. All right, 2 more. 2 more, 2 more. Who do we have? 2 more. The next winner is going to be 22. Gee whiz. Congratulations. 1 more winner for the day. And our last winner is going to be, drum roll, Will. Look at that, Will. I'm so glad Will got a winner. Great job, because he has contributed so much to, you know, my channel, the Discord, and the community. So well deserved. Great job. That is going to be our 5 winners. Hey, Will, the Nightbot likes you a little bit there. Yeah. Hey, and John's win streak is now broken, unfortunately. Sorry, John. You had a good run there. Like the, you know, I don't know. Can't think. I was trying to think of a team. Nightbot knows you were coming for him. All right, y'all. So we got our 5 winners there. For those of you that don't know, to get your evaluation code, what I'm going to do is email you a code. You need to email me, though, at this email address. swinter@futuressniperbeast.com. Send me an email there. You need to go and log in, be logged into your YouTube account that you post chat right here, okay, and click the little button so I know. Here, let's see if I can show you. Like this. Let's see. Hold on a second. So take a screenshot like this. Where you click your little icon, and I can see that you're logged in to your handle there. That way I know it's you. Because like I said, I haven't had anybody try to scam yet. And I don't think anybody on this chat stream will. But as, you know, more and more people are coming in and subscribing and all that, I want to be sure that I'm getting the evals to the right people that deserve it. So send me an email with that screenshot, and I'll get you your code. All you got to do is just use that code. Any size eval you can use, you can buy. That it does renew in 1 month to a 50% off amount. So just get that thing funded, right? We got $6 PAs. Get it funded. And, yep, there you go. Congratulations to the winners. All right, y'all. I'm going to hop off here. I'm not liking anything. It's my time anyways, so I'm going to hop off. And thanks for joining me on this stream. Hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. And, yes, I will see you guys tomorrow. Remember, 10 a.m. news tomorrow, in case if I forget too. 10 a.m. news tomorrow. All right? Have a great rest of your day. And as always, trade well, everybody. Take care.